Harris County, Texas. Right-of-way, bond. Harris County Flood District. What is a right-of-way bond? A right-of-way bond is essentially a financial tool used by the government to acquire land or easements needed for public projects, such as flood control infrastructure. In the case of Harris County, these bonds help the Harris County Flood Control District to purchase land or rights-of-way for projects aimed at reducing flood risks and improving drainage systems. Why does Harris County need right-of-way bonds? Harris County faces unique challenges when it comes to flooding. Its flat terrain, combined with heavy rainfall and urban development, can lead to water accumulating rapidly, causing flooding during storms. To combat this, the county needs to build and maintain infrastructure like detention basins, channels, and floodplain areas. However, acquiring the land or rights-of-way necessary for these projects can be costly. Sometimes, the land needed for flood control projects is owned by private individuals or businesses. In such cases, the county must negotiate with the landowners to acquire the necessary property or easements. This process requires funds, which is where the right-of-way bond comes into play. How does the right-of-way bond work? When Harris County decides to issue a right-of-way bond, it essentially means they're borrowing money from investors. These investors could be individuals, institutions, or even other government entities. In return for lending money to the county, investors receive bonds, which are like IOUs. The county promises to repay the borrowed amount plus interest over time. The money raised through the sale of these bonds is then used to acquire the land or easements needed for flood control projects. Once the land is acquired, it becomes public property and can be used for purposes like building detention ponds or widening channels to improve drainage. Who pays for the right-of-way bonds? You might be wondering who foots the bill for these bonds. Well, it's primarily the taxpayers of Harris County. The county repays the borrowed money, plus interest, using funds from property taxes and other sources of revenue. This means that residents and businesses in Harris County contribute to the repayment of the bonds through their taxes. To know more, please visit swiftbonds.com.